Hi, it's Mia with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and this is my new lessons on for beginner. This is part 15 about the menu bar. We've already done all the tools in the toolbox, and we've done file, edit, view, layout. Now we're into object. I'm not going to go over everything in object because create, pattern field that can be done, but enter an RO code or a barcode. It's pretty neat. If I'm just going to do so you just type in whatever number you want up to 30 digits and hit next and next, and it creates a barcode with the numbers you printed out. The RO code is a little bit more difficult, but I've got a video on that. Just search my videos for RO code. You'd use that for putting that code on your business card for a website. Go down. So the next thing is power clip. I don't use power clip a lot. It is pretty cool. You can take this picture, go up to object, power clip, place inside frame, and hit, and it put that flag inside that deal, and you can edit it. You can move it around, finish, get more to it. You can take the power clip away, and you can see what it did. It made a power clip box. That's kind of why I don't like power clip, and I've heard stories that it prints or engraves past the boundary box. So now what I do is I use intersect, and we're going to intersect this flag. This is off subject, but we're going to go intersect, and what that did, that made you a star in the shape of that flag, and it's guaranteed not to have anything on the outside, and I just think it's a lot better just for a lot of reasons. Copy effect, I'm not going to go over. Clone effect. Align and distribute, really important. If you have a bunch of boxes and you want to, or rectangles, and you want to align them, like this one's out of place, you can hit L, you can go hit here and go R, and they're all right here under effects. You can open up, and they're right here, L, R, T, B, C, E, center for page, which I use a lot. You can align and distribute. This is pretty cool because like these two are closer to the other one. I'm going to hit L and put them to the left so they're even. You can distribute them equally and this on this particular deal wouldn't really matter because they're equal and they're square. But if they were not equal, you can distribute them by center, by bottom, by space, vertically, and a bunch of stuff. So let's turn these to a 90-degree angle, and then you can do the same thing with here. You can grab them both and hit T for top, B for bottom. And one thing most people want to know is how do I want those two boxes to jump up to the top of these two boxes, jump equally with that? Well, if you select them all and hit T, it doesn't work. It's the last thing you select. So if you select these, hold down the shift key and select that and hit top. So it's the last thing you select. So if you select these, hold down the shift and select that and hit B for bottom. So it's the last thing. That doesn't matter if it's left, right, center, or whatever. Next thing under object, fit object to path. It's rather new. I'm not going to go over it. It's a little difficult. Order. If you have a red box and a blue box, and let me get rid of the docker, and you put this one in front, you can see that the red is in front. But if you click on the red, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see this happen. I use this order a lot. Go to object, order, put it to the back of page, and now it's the blues on top. You can do that with multiple colors, group and no group. So if you select two items, group, and now this is one group. The difference in between group and another thing I'm going to show you is combine. You can select these, and you can go to object and you can bind them. Well, the difference is to get these apart. To get these apart, you have to hit Control U or ungroup, and now they're separate. To get these apart, because they've been combined, you have to break the curve apart. So the curve breaks them apart. Next is hide. The only reason I'd ever see hide if you had this thing ready to show a customer, and you didn't want them to see all this garbage to the left or the right, and you wanted to hide it. That way, when you possibly, um, send a copy of it to her or export a file, I'm gonna hit B and put those equal. That won't be showing. Lock's really important when you're drawing something that has a yellow box. You can lock the yellow box, and then you can't grab the yellow box. You can't move it. So we can move all these items to our yellow box. We have to go to Object, Order, Front of Page to get them to show. Well, it'd be, you know what? Because I can't, I must have done something. There they are. Go to Object, Order, Front of Page. You know what? Maybe because it's already locked, it won't let me do that. Let me go to Object and unlock it for a second. Well, I must have made them disappear. So let's just take a rectangle. The problem, let me do this before I lock it. The problem, sorry about that. The problem is a lot of times if you don't grab the box and you're a little bit off, you're going to grab your yellow and then you're going to start moving your yellow around. You know, if you don't want to have to particularly hit the box, you could take your yellow, go to Object and lock it, and then you can't grab it. You can only grab your item. You know, so you can, if you're off of it, you're not going to accidentally grab the yellow. This is real neat when you're doing some tedious, fine work. You can't delete it until you unlock it. So just unlock all, and let's just delete all that. The next thing in the object is perspective. Perspective is pretty cool. You can make it look like a truck going away or a sign at an angle. Go to Object and add perspective. Then you get this, and you could move that up and move these two closer, and it looks like it's a sign that's going down the highway. Well, you can do the same thing, and you put text in that box now. You don't have to turn it. Just go to Object, Perspective, add perspective, and then you could take this item and move it over, move this down, move it out, and it looks like that text is going down the highway, you would think, or whatever. Let's see what else is under Object. A lot of times when you have something grayed out because you don't have anything selected, this is a rectangle. As you can see at the bottom, we're going to convert it to a curve, and when you do that, you can manipulate nodes of the curve that you can't do when it's a rectangle. Probably pretty important to convert an outline to an object. And also while I'm here, there's also all these kinds of line tools when you're doing stuff to a straight line, 2-point line, perpendicular line, or a trans line off of a circle. Let's make this line, let's hit either that or hit the F12, make it a 1/2 inch line. The one reason you'd want to convert it to an object, if you wanted the outline, you go to Object, convert the outline to an object, then you can left click or right click, and you made a 1/2 inch wide triangle that you can do with anything, but you couldn't do it with a curved line. Let's get the three-point curve and make a curved line. You know, you cannot do this with any other tool. So go to Object, turn it to or outline to an object, left click, right click. There's no other tool that you could do that with. Let's see what else is left. Convert to a bitmap, big deal. Join curves is in a Docker. It's pretty handy, but I've got a video on that. These are just Dockers that you're going to overprint outline. I don't understand. Object hitting, it'll tell you some hints, or should. I don't know where that is. Shouldn't have mentioned it, I guess. But anyway, and I will let's do join nodes. Let's take this and go right here and break it apart. This is, you can see those two nodes are broken. Let me get them a little closer. I actually don't use this part, but you can grab both those nodes, go up to Object, and join the curves. It'll open up this Docker, and it's It's evidently point further than point one, but it closed the nodes. Pretty important when you're doing things. Just another way to get to a Docker. That's why I'm not going over some of this stuff. These are all property Docker, object and page Docker that are Dockers that we're going to get into on the Docker part of the video. Anyway, I hope that helped just a little bit, and thank you for watching.